you ever wondered if a relationship could be a trap disguised as romance, revealing more than you might imagine? Supremo, believe it or not, there are subtle signs, and in this video, I'll reveal the 10 key clues that indicate whether she has had multiple sexual partners. Get ready to discover surprising details that very few people know about. Let me tell you the story of an ordinary man, like many of us, who, despite his best intentions, constantly struggles to build a trustworthy relationship, but fails to notice the hidden signs that his partner might not be the right one. Does this sound familiar? The answer doesn't lie in jealousy or distrust, but in learning to read between the lines. So, how can you identify these signs and find out the truth about her past? Don't worry, I'll share those details in just a moment. Number 1. She's extremely comfortable with physical intimacy. Have you ever experienced the first time being intimate with her and felt it was unsettling rather than incredible? Was it unexpected? Maybe you thought it would be amazing, but was it too much? Was she too comfortable and bold with physical intimacy? This could be a sign that she's had many past experiences. Let me explain. Instead of you making the first move, she initiates as if she's an expert. A woman with experience doesn't shy away from hugging and kissing. In fact, she's open to more advanced or even unusual moves, accepting everything you suggest. As a man, you can tell if it's her first time or if she's participated in many Kama Sutra Olympics. If your gut tells you she's too experienced in physical intimacy, it could be a sign you shouldn't ignore. But at the same time, don't jump to conclusions. Some people may naturally be more expressive and skilled in bed. So pay attention to other signs as well to ensure she's the right partner for you. Number 2. She avoids emotional closeness. There are times in a man's life, no matter how strong he is, when he feels emotionally vulnerable. Those are the moments when he seeks his partner to fill that void, offering spiritual connection and emotional support. These factors are essential in a relationship, as they help you get through tough times together. Sometimes, it's not even a difficult time. A man may simply seek emotional connection to feel good. But what if your partner doesn't respond to that need? What if she's physically present but emotionally absent? A woman who has had multiple sexual partners in the past might display such behavior, avoiding emotional closeness. But how can you tell if she's really avoiding emotional connection? Imagine trying to start a meaningful conversation with her, but she seems to take everything lightly, keeping the chats on a surface level, or quickly changing the subject when you try to speak from the heart. It's almost like she doesn't want to go deeper. This can leave you feeling empty, wondering if she's just not interested or if something else is going on. If you can clearly and consistently feel this emotional distance, it might be time to reconsider your effort. But, again, she could simply be more reserved or have been emotionally hurt before. Maybe you should give her a little more time before making a final decision. Number 3. Vague or inconsistent history. A significant sign that she may have had multiple sexual partners in the past is inconsistencies in her story. Imagine months have gone by, and you still can't confidently say that she has shared her past clearly with you. The things she shares are confusing or inconsistent, telling you one story one day and a different one the next. These inconsistencies may include mentioning different guys' names, talking about a long-term ex in one conversation, and then saying she's never had a serious relationship, or describing a specific hobby she shared with an ex but now seems totally uninterested in. It's important to remember that not everyone enjoys reliving old relationships. Some people prefer to focus on the present with you. However, if her vagueness or inconsistencies make you feel insecure or suspicious, it's worth exploring this gently. So, what should you do in this situation? Have a serious conversation with her about this topic and ask her to clarify her past. If she is truly interested in a relationship with you, her reaction will be more revealing than her words. If she opens up honestly and fills in the gaps with warmth and clarity, that's a great sign. But if she keeps giving inconsistent stories, then it might be a sign you should reconsider the relationship before she plays with you. Number 4. Frequent last-minute schedule changes. Does it happen that she cancels plans at the last minute? And does it seem like this happens to you more than to others? These fluctuations in her plans can be more frustrating than fluctuations in the stock market. But have you ever wondered why it keeps happening? It's understandable if plans are cancelled once or twice for obvious reasons, but if this becomes a constant, then something is definitely wrong. It's important to notice that the reasons she gives for these cancellations are often vague. She may tell you that a surprise meeting came up, but surprise meetings don't happen every day. Or she may mention that a friend came to town, but she is very careful not to reveal the identity of that friend. So, my friend, you shouldn't allow her to play with you like this. Clearly, she's prioritizing something above her relationship with you, and this is a sign that cannot be ignored. It's true that we all have busy lives, and sometimes unexpected things come up. Maybe she has a demanding job with unpredictable hours or a close friend who needs her support during a difficult time. However, if these last-minute cancellations are becoming a regular occurrence and making you feel left out or unimportant, it's worth having a conversation about it. Number 5. She frequently compares you to previous partners. A woman entering a relationship for the first time never compares you to anyone because you are all she's known. However, if she has had multiple partners in the past, she will inevitably end up comparing you to her exes, whether she wants to or not. Comparing someone to another person can happen involuntarily and is a clear sign that she may have been with many men in the past. How can you tell if she's comparing you to her ex-boyfriends? Maybe she mentions that the steak you cooked is better than the one she used to enjoy with her ex, or how an ex loved a certain activity you never suggested. Other times, during an argument, she may end up comparing your flaws to those of her ex-boyfriend. These comparisons, although subtle, can make you feel insecure and wonder if you measure up. But most importantly, they can make you question her past and how many relationships she's had. Before you start doubting your own abilities, take a breath and remind yourself that it's not your fault. A person who has been with multiple partners tends to make comparisons, and for that reason, you should make it clear to her that you're not someone she can play with. If she regularly compares you to other men, talk to her and express how you feel. Let her know that you deserve to be valued for who you are and that you won't tolerate being constantly compared. Number 6. Very secretive with phone use. Does your partner's phone suddenly become her most prized possession whenever you're around? Maybe she rushes to put it face down, quickly changes the screen, or becomes very secretive about taking calls in your presence. This secrecy with the phone can be suspicious and leave you wondering if she's hiding something. The reasons for keeping her phone away from you may be obvious. She might still be in touch with some of her ex-boyfriends or simply doesn't want you to have access to her chat history or past images. When you ask her to let you see her phone, she becomes defensive, arguing that you don't trust her. This can leave you in a tough spot, feeling insecure and unable to ask more about her phone. However, before jumping to conclusions, it's important to remember that there could always be another story or a logical explanation for this behavior. We all deserve a bit of privacy, and some people are just very protective of their personal space. Maybe she has confidential work conversations or values her alone time for browsing the internet. But again, if the relationship is strong enough, there always comes a point where the couple doesn't feel the need to hide their phones from each other. Trust and transparency are essential in any relationship. Give it some time to see if her behavior changes over time. Watch to see if she starts to be more open and less secretive with her phone as the relationship strengthens. If after a reasonable amount of time you don't see any change and her actions continue to raise suspicion, you have every right to bring up the topic again. Number 7. She focuses too much on physical appearance. Just as she might be very secretive with her phone, she may also be highly conscious of both her appearance and yours. She might spend a significant amount of time getting ready, constantly checking her reflection, or frequently commenting on other people's looks. While caring about appearance is normal and healthy, it could also be a sign that she has been with other attractive men in the past. Now you might be thinking, How does focusing on physical appearance relate to having had multiple sexual partners in the past? Well, being overly focused on her own appearance, yours, or others could indicate that she is the type of person who values the exterior more than the interior. What she might be seeking is physical attraction, not emotional connection. In extreme cases, she might even compare you physically to her exes or to anyone else she sees on her phone. If instead of having deep and meaningful conversations with you, she spends her time comparing you to others in terms of appearance, then you have the right to ask why. Number 8. Disinterest in discussing sexual health. Talking about sex can be uncomfortable, but it's a crucial topic, especially when it comes to sexual health, which every couple should address. This ensures that both are aligned on safe sexual practices and creates a space for open communication about sexual desires and needs. But what if she never shows interest in talking about sexual health? This disinterest could indicate that she's hiding something, leaving you wondering what could be the reason behind her avoidance of the topic. Is she simply too shy to talk about it? If she's an experienced woman, shyness is probably not the reason. There could be various reasons related to her past that explain her lack of interest in discussing sexual health. One possibility is that, having had multiple sexual partners, she may be more exposed to sexually transmitted infections. The fact that she could also pass them on to you might make her prefer to avoid the topic altogether. She could also be worried about being judged for her sexual history or the contraceptive methods she uses. However, sexual health is a topic that must be addressed without exceptions, for the well-being of both partners. Moreover, it will give you clearer insights into her previous sexual history. It's crucial to take a direct approach and make it clear that this topic is fundamental to the relationship. If she responds with openness and willingness to discuss, it could be a positive sign. But if she gets defensive and offers vague answers, she might be revealing more than she's hiding. Number 9. Discomfort when introducing you to her friends. Meeting your partner's friends is a big step. It's an opportunity to connect with the people who are important to her and to be introduced into her social circle. But what if your partner seems reluctant or completely avoids introducing you to her friends? Perhaps she constantly makes excuses about why you can't meet her group or changes the subject every time you bring it up. This attitude may indicate that she's hiding something important about her life from you. When a woman is truly committed to you, she will generally want to show you off to everyone who matters to her. Avoiding introducing you to her friends could be a sign that there's something more at play. She may be afraid that her friends, who know her past, could reveal details about her previous relationships, or perhaps she has a history with one of them and doesn't want to mention it in front of you. When you ask about her friends, if she changes the subject or treats it as something unimportant, it can leave you confused or even make you feel undervalued, as if you're not significant enough to discuss it. Whatever the reason behind her avoidance, it's important to address it. Consider directly reaching out to some of her friends to get a better understanding of who she really is, or have an open conversation with her to determine whether the relationship can move forward or if it's better to stop it there. Number 10. Changing priorities that exclude you. We've reached the last and most crucial sign that could confirm if she's had multiple sexual partners in the past. When we embark on a relationship, our partner becomes the top priority in our lives. It's a basic principle of psychology that drives us towards that dedication. So, if you feel that she's constantly leaving you out or prioritizing things that don't include you, it could be indicative that she still has other people in her life who occupy her attention. Although sometimes there can be valid reasons behind her decisions, that's not always the case. She might start dedicating all her free time to new friends, neglecting the plans you made together or prioritizing hobbies that make you feel excluded. This situation allows you to discern whether these priorities are genuine or if you're simply not a priority for her. What should you do at this point? If you've noticed many other signs along with this one, it's likely that you're already seeing a clear pattern in her history. It's not about judging her, but about evaluating whether you can handle this dynamic in the relationship. If you feel that it's too much for you, it's time to consider moving on. However, it's important not to jump to conclusions. If you see some signs, there could always be other explanations. My recommendation is to give the relationship time, learn more about her, and determine whether you can truly build a solid and lasting connection. At the same time, never settle for less than you deserve. If you're looking for a meaningful and deep relationship, don't waste time with someone who isn't willing to commit in the same way. Always remember your own worth and seek a partner who truly recognizes and values it. Now, were you already familiar with any of these signs? Tell me about your experience in the comments. And before you go, I want to invite you to watch the next video, where you'll learn 9 messages to get into a woman's mind. Thank you for being part of this community, and if you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe. See you, Supreme.